Just couldn't take it over the line there. Furia with a comeback late in normal time, taking charge in overtime. Still some late opportunities for IHC, opportunities that were missed, figuratively and literally. We head to Anubis, the deciding map of the series. Furia, some might say, are the Cardinals of Carnage, but do they have enough left in the tank to take this from IHC?
Oh, a couple of players on B for IHC, but the play already coming at them. Techno needs to be careful when he gets run down early. Furia wasting no time to make this play on the B site, and Yuri just goes leaping into the action. Instant 3K on the entry, and IHC are not looking good in this pistol.
Smoked out of the bomb site for the remainder. The Julies are here, but I think this might be a bit too much to ask for IHC. They took both pistols in the last map, and it seems they may lose the first one on Anubis. Bartak being flanked by Keserato. Will be shot in the head, though, as he starts to turn around. So, I said, do Furia have enough left in the tank? Their tank feels like it's almost always full. Was a bit dodgy for a while there on Mirage, but here we are. We've made it to Anubis. They forced us to Anubis.
Yeah, Furia are just such a tenured team. Been to playoffs in the past. Been deep in tournaments. They know how to manage these sorts of scenarios, whereas IHC, when they get these sorts of tournaments, these opportunities, it's always a massive deal for them. And I wonder whether they will be able to bounce back mentally. Well, Annihilation certainly looks like he's off to a good start. Lovely deagle shot at mid. The drop will do a little bit of housekeeping, get that Galil out the map.
Annihilation almost won this series with deagle shots.
He looks cold-blooded, even under the pressure.
He really does. Well, Skull will be holding on to this for a while. Another smoke at his feet. If you joined this series late, you have missed so much. Even USPs, Glocks, every tool has been extremely dangerous. We've seen the Zeus as well. Oh, the patience from Score. He can drop the smoke grenade, but I'm not sure if it'll come fast enough on this occasion. Safe makes his way in with the MAC-10. Bomb site appears to be secured for now, but I'm sure IHC will be encouraged to go for this. Very little to lose. Desert Eagle in the hands of Annihilation. Oh, I thought Dropped was walking to his doom there. Bartak showing presence, trying to run distraction, if you will. Safe going to creep around the corner looking for him. But a 5-7 up close is dangerous. But now they've got the range. Bartak may just save this MAC-10 for the round to come.
IHC doing a decent job at keeping this round competitive. I like Bartak trying to almost fake the drop back and bait players into pushing him. But unfortunately for IHC, losing that bomb site down in a 2v3, not good enough for them here. And again, for Furia, there were a lot of nervy moments on Mirage. It honestly looked like the pressure was getting to them. We saw quite a few mistakes being made. I feel like we're not going to see that here on Anubis. It really looked like they were composed as soon as they hit overtime. I wonder if IHC are going to let this bad start get to them. If they're not careful, it could be tough for them, thinking about the chances they had. You've got to just get that out of your mind now. Focus on this one map.
A few bits and bobs have been purchased. The MAC-10 will be thrown to a teammate. And the pistols will be spread out. Still a dangerous round for Furia. But there's less utility to slow them down now. That will be key.
Damn.
Guess
Annihilation's dig is just delicious.
He just delivers. It's called Despacito, which makes it even worse. Furia not wanting to just take headshots here and there. Looking to concentrate their efforts now as they reach the minute mark. You can see Score has gleaned some information there. Molotov will certainly help. Annihilation is starting to creep again with the Desert Eagle. Down to 22 HP though. A lot of people facing his way. That's got to be some confidence now. Now they can move into the bomb site as soon as Annihilation's been blown to pieces. Everything is a lot safer. Furia looking for a roaring 3-0 start to Anubis.
Ooh, AK wasn't picked up there by Blitz. That's a shame, because now Furia will start to close the gap. 3 health remaining, and Art will finish the job. 3-0 lead for Furia. We have already seen Furia play this map. In fact, in the series they lost against Big, this was the one map they were able to win. So they've got a little bit of experience in officials on this map. Meanwhile, for IHC, we've seen there are options for CT aggression on Anubis. Not every team is willing to go for some of those aggressive plays. We'll see if IHC are here, because they have picked up 2 AWPs into this round. Looks like some heavy mid-presence early. Those nades are so hard to deal with, though. The molly comes in, the smoke comes through, and Annihilation can't find an early fight. And now it's close quarters combat with the AWP.
He wants to go back. There are multiple people here, though. Drop really ready. That last map put years on Drop in a good way. And they'll still be at advantage here. This will really be the maximum test for IHC. Psychologically overcoming that last map and having to now beat Furia on Anubis. It's going to be a rich experience for them either way.
Difficult retake here on A. Furia are so established. They've got the smoke up. Now a molly burns Bartak alive. And that alone should confirm it. IHC decide they cannot afford to take this risk. And Score might not even get out. It's a long way to run. He's going to be stuck on that right side. Safe not going for him, though. Instead, he'll go towards Techno. And I think Techno is about to be caught in the back. Orb looking to be saved. It will be the one going carried over. I'm a little concerned for IHC, though. Just seeing that initial gun round, they were really focused on trying to fight mid. And I think it's very hard to do that as the CTs. And you see why. The smoke and the molly come in. You get forced back. I think you almost have to play mid from back here sometimes. It allowed Furia to just split into that A site so easily.
Yeah, definitely a lack of control here. They may not have the depth that we saw on Mirage. So this will be a curious one. This is easily the best start that Furia have had, although now there's opportunity for Score if he can find another angle or keep himself alive for now. How does he make this work out for him? The pistols will run distraction, but can they get an AWP going again? Still stuck in the smoke. Oh, that's a team kill from Safe onto Drop, and now the bomb's on the floor. And oh, this is the Annihilations here again with the Desert Eagle! And just like that, the round is over. What's in the blazes? AWP stuck in the smoke, the pistols pick up the slack, and IHC are on the boards. Wow.
I feel like I player and he'd do fine. It's ridiculous. I don't know what on earth goes on with the team kill from Safe. I wasn't even sure if there were players he could really aim at that easily.
There must have been a strafe in front of him, I would imagine. But, I mean, well, the thing is, okay, so that's like a very random round, but that's not a round, that's not a replicable round. So, I'm not terribly concerned. But, I mean, that's quite the anomaly. That gives them so much bounty as well. Not just that, but Furia lost so much money in that round. So if IHC can find a way to string this, then maybe they can start to get running here. But I don't know if I'm convinced just yet. Based on the rounds that Furia have won, the fashion in which they won them, IHC felt like looks like they never had control.
Yeah, and that's around where Furia group up early and go for an early site play, instead of just playing a default, slowly getting map control and just forcing IHC back. And I think that is what Furia will go back to here. Spread across the board, slowly work across the map. This time pressure towards the B bomb site, and IHC have to be a little careful right now. Players creeping in from both sides. Techno wins the first fight, and Blitz is here alongside it. Finally, Keserato opens up proceedings for Furia, but that bomb has been dropped on B long, and there is no one there for Furia. So getting that bomb back is actually going to be really hard. They're basically committed now to this B site.
Super committed. Yuri and Safe have a long way to go, and it's a very slow push. That much is for sure. Annihilation has a great angle as well. They're not going through T-spawn, so this could get interesting. Oh, just as he looks away. Very rewarding for IHC. Now, what can the remainder of the squad do? Keserato still in that dark position as Yuri edges forward past all the different potential angles. And look how that kills the clock. 37 mark, 30-second mark. 2 versus 4. Keserato so reliable, but Yuri looks like he's disengaging. Hold on to the rifles for the next round, perhaps. Art and Drop have a combined $50. So again, after that anomalous loss on the A bomb site, things are looking very difficult for Furia very quickly indeed. Perhaps we have a game on our hands after all.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised Furia forced it so soon in this round. There was still the smokes up, and it didn't really look like both sides of the push were fully on the same page there. Keserato did have a gap in the smoke to work with, so eventually came in. But you see, these players are coming out way before the players down below from the sewer. Finally, Keserato gets involved, but they weren't ready to fully come out towards the site.
Oh, that body language is back.
Yeah, and it didn't take long for it to come back. You're 4-2 up, lads. It's not so bad.
I think maybe it's a combination. Realizing what this done to their economy. That round 2 rounds ago must have felt so random. Even in a vacuum of this series, where all these rounds have been very fast-paced, lots of action. Got to put it past you now, though. P250 for Drop. Desert Eagle for Safe. How do you get the first entry here? You send a pistol in to swing, to take some bullets, have an AK behind it, or just a dry peek with a rifle?
Oh, it might be this B site again. I think when you've got this little utility, it's really hard to get the mid control fully at this point. And you've got the AWP somewhat close quarters there from Scores, so that could be a little sketchy.
Is there a read on this from IHC, though? Because they've got 3 players hard committed to the B bomb site. The HEs are being deployed as well as the incendiary, but some of the players are in. Well, they've got one killer at the very least. Score's got to be careful, but he's got the flicks. And look how the Molotov has isolated the rest of them. The cleanup should be here. Running low on bullets. Blitz will have to wait a time, but that HE grenade will be glorious. Sailing through the air.
I thought Score was going to be the issue on the hold, but he was the solution in that one. AWP close quarters, but then he got the P250 out for a second kill, and then went back to the AWP for another one. So fair play to him. I'm surprised he was able to survive for so long. And now for Furia, it is that poor economy that we were worried about for them after losing that prior round. They have to take a low buy. And Furia have been so B-centric, and they're going back to the B site again.
Well, they've got the numbers now, but the rifle support will be so crucial, trying to target AWP perhaps, but there are 2 of them there, and that is so important. Score seems ready, bomb plant denied. Art, the last one, trying to get something, squeezes a frag out of it. That buy absolutely sucked.
This is where Furia get the full rifles back in hand, and this is where I would like to see them take that default stance across the map, slowly work that mid control. It looked like that was a pretty good way to start one of these rounds. And I'm not sure IHC are going to have all the responses ready if they lose mid. We saw that A split was quite comfortable previously. And you have to remember, IHC, I've said it a couple of times, they're playing with a stand-in here. I think they had a bit of time to prepare ahead of time. Cabal has recently had a child. He's had a kid, so he's taken a bit of time off. Bartak stepping into the fray. And so that can definitely affect coordination, especially on the newest map added to the map pool. So I think I'd like to see Furia test those rotations rather than commit to these bomb sites so soon. Early utility looks like it will be deployed towards mid for Furia. CT's trying to come back though.
He's just sending it, Blitz, but hold on a second, they've all died. Bartak trying to enact revenge, but with a minute 40, there are 5 players alive, and only one of them is on IHC. Wow. I wanted to say, all right, let's see if Furia can bring back that momentum they had earlier. I think it's really important they do. But the round is, well, is it over? They're going towards Annihilation. They're going in his direction, and they will finish him off as well. That was lightning fast.
What a wild round. Just IHC fully committing to some mad mid-aggression, hoping that they can just fight fire with fire on that position. But it is quite hard to do that as the CT. You see it's quite a tight choke point. Furia end up shutting it down with ease. The upside for IHC is they had a lot of money established, so they can stick with their double AWP, and I assume they'll go back to a slightly more standard setup now for this round.
Talk about fighting fire with fire. That was somewhat of self-immolation. Blitz was running like he had somewhere to be. Again, Furia focusing on this mid position now. Will IHC play further back? Blitz is on his own here, and again, he has had so much success in multi-frag rounds and so on. Not afraid at all. And who knows, Furia don't know if something is coming their way from the other side of this, but that smoke will soon be gone. Big intentions towards the A bomb site as well, as we can see. 3 players heading in that direction. Annihilation will be forced from his position. Won't be given the peek he's looking for, but a smoke comes just in time.
Yeah, they've got this 2-man setup on A, so Annihilation was the initial contact, and Bartak was the man with the smoke in case his teammate needed assistance. Furia may figure out that it was a double stack towards A, though. So now, after putting some presence there, they come back to B, and this site could be slightly weakened, but Score will take that fight all day long, and he's got an incendiary to make sure he's safe. And the rotate's going to arrive in plenty of time here for IHC. This looks like a great setup. Furia don't have the nades to break these AWPs down.
Grenades are being lined up, it looks like, but that clock is running so low. They have to find the frags and plant the bomb. 3 kills. Score not taking the bait. It's still killing time, though. Down goes Drop. Are they fully invested in this? They're losing everything so late. Have to wonder about the timing on that one. Poking, prodding, dying on the bomb site.
Yeah, they just didn't have the nades to get into the site. You just want a little bit more than that. A smoke and a couple of flashes could have made a big difference. But instead, the flash that they had wasn't effective enough. And even when Score misses the first shot, it's just such a strong angle for the AWP. Solid round from Score and his riflers supporting him. Furia again putting a lot of emphasis on that B-bomb site. Annihilation looking for the quick mid-pick. Able to get out before any nades land at his feet. This is the exact same setup from IHC with only 1 man on mid. So Blitz is playing a very dangerous game here. He's caught out in the open, and that gives Furia a massive amount of map control to work with.
Furia must smell blood in that position. That looks high variance for IHC. And I imagine they'll continue to pursue that spot as this half continues.
Nice aggression from Techno, though. Sees that B is completely clear. They might be ready on this A site now.
Oh, if only. But when you're up against Keserato, that's going to be real hard. So they're gaining position and losing it at the same time. And I think it might be lost at this point. Annihilation with the AWP again takes one in the face from Yuri. And they get popped one after the other. Furia take the lead now, 6-5.
And I think you're right. Now that Furia have really seen what that mid setup looked like in that round, I would not be surprised if that becomes a point of emphasis for them in the rest of the half. It's just such a risk to be playing that far forward alone on mid. I'm sure IHC will switch their setup. Sometimes they will definitely have 2 players watching mid. But even then, if you can use solid utility, you can definitely force those CTs away. Still nice to have a competitive map on our hands, though. I was a little worried that IHC would struggle to recover against the tenured Furia team, but they're making sure they put up a fight here on Anubis.
That brittle mid approach. If they go passive, then Furia can use it as a threat to keep people in bad positions. But it might be better than being a man down.
They got the AWP here this time.
They do, and a second player in tow as well. Grenades coming through once again. It will be an exchange. 3 players invested by Furia. Annihilation creeping forward once more.
Jeez.
He has Blitz to hold a door for him. Hodor, there we go. Art taken down. 5 versus 3. This time it works.
I think that's just so bold that Furia were never expecting the AWP to make that play. And now the bomb alone on B long and fallen at the feet of Drop. Score will be delighted with that.
Still peeking. They may open up opportunity for Furia despite them only having 2 players. That bomb is going to be hard to solve though. IHC can't really be losing too many players in this scenario for the rounds to come. Even if they win this round, they need their players standing. But Furia are in an awkward spot as well. So they may just choose to back off, but it seems that IHC are very, very hungry.
Hungry, hungry hippos.
So this becomes a timeout, essentially. Well, it would do, but look at this push.
Like,
they've got
Kevlar,
2 AWPs, and yeah, he just does not care. He does not care whatsoever. I love it, though. I love it. Fight fire with fire. Nothing but flames now. And an AWP will be collected one way or another by Furia. But again, I'm curious as to what the buy will look like for IHC if they keep dropping players in a situation such as this.
It's like you bought the 2 AWPs, right? You wanted the double AWP setup. But I guess they didn't want it that much, because Score just decides to go on an excursion, and he will be floating on the lily pads. We will hop our way into the next round, and IHC will not have the chance to get a second sniper back for Score. That is just so bold, this setup, but I like that they switch it up and have 2 players towards mid. I really think Furia weren't expecting more mid aggression in this one. So cool that IHC have a nice little setup that works well.
You can't condition them. They refuse to be conditioned. Doesn't matter how many rounds in a row you win. They're going to send it on you every time.
I see a missed smoke on the minimap from Furia. It's landed in the middle of nowhere. But this smoke has landed. See a lot of nades back and forth in this position. CTs like to fight over it and try and keep control so that they can't get split on B.
Minute 20 on the clock. A 1-2-2 setup, but that 1 has been dropped by K-Serato on the A-bomb site. Quick rotation, but the flashes is glorious, and so is K-Serato. That was sublime fragging by him, and he has single-handedly almost won this round. Great support. That flashbang could not have been timed better. You saw the urgency from IHC, but Furia were ready for it.
That's the only way K-Serato could get any support on the push, because Furia was still in a default where he was alone towards A. So he was not going to have any players to back him up. It had to be the flashbang. Beautifully done by Furia. And you see K-Serato not only putting up the numbers, but you just see how much impact he has when he gets his frags. He single-handedly won Furia quite a few rounds throughout this series. Such a strong rifler. And now these IHC players might be trapped. Furia want to get rid of them, and I think Hart might... Oh, never mind.
Those frags were beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That combination, oh man. I really enjoyed that. That was satisfying to watch. Not for IHC though. 6 rounds might be all they get at this point in this half, because in round 14, they are flat broke. And it seems that Blitz has gone for the force buy. Annihilation's bought the Deagle, so now anything can happen. But just have a look at this again. Beautiful. That 3rd kill as well. So deep into his chair. The scout is out for Score.
Ooh.
This is a rough buy from IHC.
But they got 3B, ready for this hold.
Yep, popping out from place to place. Stereo frags for IHC on the B bomb site. There might be life in the dog yet. K-Serato and Save trying to do what they can, but they're all here, committed to this B bomb site. They can't make any play elsewhere for the time being. Bartak starting to move back. He doesn't know just how many players from Furia are outside this smoke grenade. So there is a chance.
Techno now left alone on B with the 1 AK. Oh, and he gets a duel, but it's not a favorable one. Art wins the fight against him. At least some information for IHC to put players back towards B, but at the same time, they've lost the 1 rifle they recovered. And there's still enough utility for Furia to cut off some of these angles.
This is so awkward for them, though, with the health they have. And now this setup, if they can't solve this setup with utility, then they could be absolutely massacred once this 5-7 is activated. Do they keep pressing forward?
There we go.
That smoke will thwart Bartak as well. Desert Eagle sending, but not really finding anything. Bartak through the smoke at the wrong time there. I think they're over the hump now here, Furia. Annihilation walking with the Deagle. And that will be an 8th round on the board for Furia. The force buy has failed. They tried to take both rounds rather than eco and have a crap buy. But either way, the score's still going to be close enough at half-time. Nothing is guaranteed just yet.
Yeah, it's definitely a map where the T side can be strong based on what we've seen. I think it's still enough in flux that it's hard to know fully who's going to be in a great position at the half. Furia will definitely be happy with what they have, though. And as you said, IHC forced in the previous. Now they have to force in this one. Into the last round of the half. Keserato straight through the smoke. Bartak goes down. Action at mid, but it is still good enough for Furia. And this A-split looks unstoppable.
Drop will spot 1. Not a whole lot IHC can be expected to do here. Bomb still making its way. Furia being careful. Annihilation with the Desert Eagle again. He'll be extinguished on this occasion. Now it's just Techno between Furia and 9 rounds in the first half.
One more half between these two teams. A spot at Katowice groups on the line. And the loser goes out on the play-in stage. It's not been the clean, comfortable series Furia would have wanted, but they are up 9-6. And if they were to win this pistol, they would be in a fantastic position for the series. Let's see if they can do it up against IHC here.
This has felt like a quarter-final or even a semi-final match. The tension that we've had. I do wonder if there's a hard read here as the grenade sails in. Will do some damage, but the pistols will have to do the rest. Furia doing nice work at the moment. Keserato trying to do more. Look at these trades. Down to a 2-1-2 now. As Blitz tries to cut off the rotation, but he doesn't make the connection. He will entertain Yuri, though, who is up for the challenge. Blitz has the extra bullets. He rings the bell, and Yuri's like, nope. 2 HP and 5.
Wow.
I've got more fingers than Furia have health.
Oh, Bomb's trying to go back, but Safe is going to get her in time, and still Techno turns it round. Yuri on 2 health, trying to get back to B. Techno's alone right now. He's alone, and he's got to be careful. Oh, he is going to win the fight in the end. IHC just about hold on. Techno 4K with the 4K, and IHC not done yet.
The teams split the pistols. If this isn't a disaster, then maybe we see a 9-9 scoreline. The final half, at least as far as regulation is concerned, we've seen 1 overtime already. But the final normal half, if you will, of this series, which has been a barn burner so far. It's been a hell of a series. We've seen chaos even with USPs in the hands of Furia. Perhaps we'll see the same again. 3 players heading up towards mid. Anything is possible. That much is true in the vacuum of this series. Not going to outstay their welcome. Heading over towards the fish.
Not as pacey this time from IHC against one of these low buys, which I like. And even without the information currently, looks like they could have a correct read on the situation. Score has snuck towards the B bomb site without much resistance. So they will find a free B bomb site and a free round. Furia definitely a team who have come up with new things when new maps have come out. I remember they or one of the adopters of Vertigo when that map came into the pool. Sure, everyone remembers that crazy boost they ran on that map. So I'm excited to see if Furia have anything spicy up their sleeve on this CT side. Getting back to a tight scoreline here. IHC should have a field day in these fights.
Juicy targets for the spray down. Thought they'll squeeze something out of it, just a few drops from the lemon. But they had absolutely nothing to lose. No Mac 10s to run away from, pure rifles from IHC. We have a game on our hands. Safe has managed to eke out an AWP.
Yeah, I think Arts had to go without Kevlar to drop him the AWP.
Indeed he has.
So a no Kevlar FAMAS for Art.
Yeah.
That's not a good feeling.
It's very interesting, the urgency of this AWP. Don't often see it.
Good utility from IHC. Nice to see they've got 2 mollies down on mid, and that allows a pacey mid take.
Oh, they've seen the AWP now. They know the AWP is there. They forced him away. Talk about urgency. IHC are on fast forward into the A bomb site, surrounding it, but it needs to find Quesarasso, who's got a 1v1. Found another one as well. Looking for a third, but it's not to be. 3-on-3, plenty more action to come. Now Safe activates and drops Blitz. Advantage for the time being. He's got a great angle as well, and Techno will be denied. Annihilation could get 2. Did he give a sound cue away there? He missed his jump, and I think he's conceded his position. Now things are going to be really difficult, but how do they advance? Safe is 6 HP. Surely, at best, he's second into the bomb site. Still waiting, still creeping. There goes one. The transfer from Annihilation. He's seen Drop as well. He could actually do this. Drop doesn't have a kit. He's got to go fast. He's heard him, and he's found him. What a monstrous clutch from Annihilation.
This guy is so calm in these late round scenarios. Another clutch for Annihilation. How does he do it every single time? When IHC need a player to step up, he is the man who delivers. And Furia took so long to make this retake work. They took so long to figure out how they wanted to play it. They put the low health player in first, and yet they weren't ready for that transfer. They almost lined up, and then Drop makes noise, dropping down. IHC with a massive round off the back of Annihilation, and Furia back down to pistols again.
That was an instant transfer. What is the ceiling of Annihilation? He's a revelation in this tournament so far. And he may have more games to come. The score is tied, 9 apiece, down to the wire again, at least for the time being.
Ooh, not a bad wallbang. That could be a real turning point here. That's the start of round that makes you believe in IHC and maybe makes Furia go back into the situation they were in on Mirage, where they looked a little shaky. They start to feel the pressure. They started to make mistakes.
I don't feel like either team's going to pull away, but something's telling me that if one team is, it's going to be IHC. The urgency of that AWP from Furia just not working out for them. They might be in their own heads if you look at their body language. 43 seconds on the clock and the smoke goes up. Look how many people that's denying as well. How many players have IHC identified on this bomb site? That molly will certainly help, but they seem comfortable. They seem confident still. Techno taking his time, and they come in to clear the bomb site with 0 losses. They are ready. They are laser focused as they take the lead.
Techno up to 18 kills, having a real solid showing. He was one of the young rising stars of the Mongolian scene who got brought onto this IHC roster. And I loved seeing that first gun round from IHC. I think they really showed they have some strats up their sleeve. 2 mollies onto mid are a great way of having a pacey mid play. Instead of having a smoke up that you can't go through, you put the 2 mollies in, the CTs can't play there, and then you can quickly up the tempo for that A-sided split. So it looks like IHC have got a couple of tactics, a couple of pocket strategies up their sleeve here for Anubis. And I want to see if they've got more of the same. Do they have more pacey rounds at the ready? Or is it time to slow things down now that Annihilation has that AWP in hand?
Look how close those scores were on the previous maps. There isn't much between these two teams today. IHC changing the pace, holding on to all of their utility. They may be through 2 grenades by now. Starting to creep forward, great flashbang, but Art has the angle to deliver the goods. Not the result they were looking for. Everybody eating flashbangs now, just slowing things down. Looking like he might have a better time of things, or maybe not. What a pick from Techno. Can he stay alive though? We can see Safe has been forced to rotate to hold down this mid position, and he has plenty of vision.
Techno having an excellent map here. Bomb gets chucked up to him. And now they start to move back towards B. And this setup from Furia is all in on the hold. No retake setup here. They are committed to holding the bomb site. The Incendiary will buy some time. IHC mainly focused on B long, ready for the play. No nades yet. They're going dry.
Yeah, with score first. Techno the trade fragger in red HP. It becomes extremely awkward immediately. And how does the orb go in behind him? This could collapse completely for IHC. I don't know how they can make this one work, especially a man down now. But somehow he manages to find the peak. The bomb's been dropped in the meantime. Yuri must deliver, but Bartak will take over. AWP planting the bomb. Bartak trying to cover. That's some information at least. They know where half the players are. Sarato will deliver the rest. I didn't think they would get that far. They look so dangerous, even in defeat.
Definitely heard a reaction from Furia as well. I think they've realized they need to stay in a positive mindset here. And that round, a team ace will feel good for them. For IHC, I didn't mind the initial flash towards mid, but I'd have liked maybe a second player ready to trade. Techno landed an excellent shot. But then you see that player coming in from sewer. That's what they were waiting for the whole time. That's what they needed. I think, unfortunately, Bartak maybe felt the pressure a bit in that 2v2. I don't know if he needed to peek that wide out into the open, but he did. Annihilation couldn't clutch this time. But still full buys for both teams, and 3 CTs mid for Furia. Let's see what they've got planned for this one.
This is a really big round for Furia. If they capitulate here, they are in so much trouble, and they might be in their own heads as well. They have to deliver here. 4 AKs mustered by IHC despite that round. Shortcomings for Furia, as we can see. The MP9 out for Art.
Back to B again, and I don't mind this. That B hold did not look solid from Furia. Drop and Yuri playing a similar setup. The counter utility timing is key here.
Yuri still has a smoke, but here comes the push. Techno has got the information for his team. And again, the silence is going to cause some problems and wipe out the bomb site. Do Furia even go for this? As I said, they can't lose this round. If they lose everything, then that's going to be a hell of a run for IHC. They have to hold on to what they have. They have to fall back.
I wonder if we see a different look from Furia on that B site in the future, because this setup is so all in. It is so committed. Even if you get some kills on the hold, the rotate is not going to arrive in time. And that was a fairly simple play from IHC. Just basic utility into the bomb site, drop gets blinded, and it makes it really hard for the CTs to work together. And I've got to say, Yuri's had a couple of moments throughout this series where he just seems to awkwardly take off the silencer at the wrong time. Maybe
we've seen that at least twice.
Yeah. Always sketchy when you see it. At least Furia save some guns. Should allow a buy to continue. But yeah, I think you can play that sort of setup on B if you've got 3 players here, but with 2, it's touchy. It's touch and go. One good flash blinds one of your players, and you can isolate the fights fairly easily. Oh, and again,
another one.
He looked so poised at the major as well. His body language is great there, but here he's not looking like he's having fun.
Is there an argument to be able to unbind that right click on the silencer?
Might be B again.
Calling for it. And yeah, there is a big focus. Give us a reason not to keep doing this, say IHC. Scores lurking around that mid position. Yuri got to be careful. Throwing these grenades, forces the swing back and takes it, but he will be traded. Drops in trouble with the FAMAS, and it's done again. Look at the desperation from Art. They can't keep losing like this, but they are.
this has got to be a pause. I think this has to be a pause now. You've lost this B site the same time in a few rounds in a row. You cannot afford to let that keep happening. I didn't mind the swing from Yuri into the sewer position there, but it just doesn't look like Yuri and Drop are always on the same page. And we saw the frustration from Drop in the earlier round. I feel like they're aware that this B hold is not looking good. IHC continue to exploit it. They've shown a willingness to do that in the past. And I would be shocked if we don't see a timeout now for Furia. They don't have to do it here because their money might not be perfect, but I think they can probably scrape together a buy. So if I were them, I'm going for a timeout straight away.
Yeah, they can definitely buy with the money certain players have got. How do they solve this problem? You can see the urgency from Furia. It's extremely high. Big risks being taken here, but Techno is ready for it. It almost looks like they're out of ideas of plays like that. Like just throwing the dice with all the chips on the line. And indeed, there will be a timeout because they have a big problem to solve. IHC have spotted a leak and they are exploiting it.
If you've just joined us, to spot a Katowice groups on the line, and the loser would be eliminated here in the play-in. And that would not be acceptable for a team of Furia's caliber. They're a team who should be competing for the playoffs of a tournament like this. And IHC have come in here today, showed us that they are willing to play, showed us they are willing to play with confidence, with poise in these scenarios. Even with a stand-in, they have pushed Furia to the limit. And right now, they are in the better position here. 12-10 up, and Furia's money is still shaky. That has to be a consideration. It's a double up setup in this round, but if you lose this round, you are in real trouble.
We've spoken so much about Annihilation, the highlight frags we've seen from him, the Desert Eagle, the AWP, but Techno has double the kills of anybody else on the team. 22 frags. Instrumental on Anubis. Causing so much grief to Furia.
Here is a switch in the setup for Furia. Safe has taken an AWP over to B. There are now 3 CTs stacked there. So if we see a similar play from IHC, there are more reinforcements from Furia, but ARC goes down on mid.
Days.
And that is a massive area of the map wide open.
And there's no response, because it's always been B, almost. It's been B enough times. Flashbangs are going out, but nothing doing. They're inviting response. They have time. The incendiaries have been thrown. There's not much left. Oh boy. Is this going to be an A play? There's a lurker outside in Bartak. They're smoking off the rotation. Drop realizes there could be some trouble here, trying to spray, but now K-Saras has got so much to do. We know he can. There's the first one. There's the second. One more to go. Blitz is just creeping by the boxes. Grenades being thrown, but he goes down eventually. Has he bought enough time, though? 3 on 3. Bartak has the angle. The timing of that smoke was utterly brutal for Furia. Just half a second, and maybe they get a chance at a duel.
Safe has one flash. Maybe they can try and flash through that smoke. I think that's the only way in here. Otherwise, you're locked out from this angle for so long.
Bartak's escaped it for now. He's in a different position. So tense. They've all got defuse kits, but they have to find these frags. Edging forward. There's Drop. Do they call it Oz? Based on that, immediately they do. They back out. IHC are 3 rounds away from eliminating Furia before we even get to groups.
What an opener from Blitz. Arc playing mid has put a lot of weight on his own shoulders. It's such an important position. He's been playing it alone in this round for the first time because Furia went for that switch up playing 3B. And he goes down so soon. K-Serato gets completely isolated. Even though he has been great, even though he gets 2 kills, IHC don't force the trade straight away. They wait a little longer. They isolate him on the site. But at least with the 2 guns saved, Furia still have a buy on their hands.
IHC are a step ahead of Furia. They are forcing Furia to react to their plays. Nice angle from Safe. Something to smile about, finally, for Furia. But will it be brief? They remain with 3 in B. They won't change from last time. Okay, Serato's turn to hide behind the pillar. Minute 20 on the clock. IHC dictate the pace. That pop flash might tell a story. Bartek has to read at least 2 players. His score moving over as well. But where is the bomb headed? Will it be a split again?
Yeah, looks like it. That deep smoke allows this split to be more effective. Serato hoping he can work with his teammate Art, and he is able to get the initial kill on the hold. Both CTs low on ammo here. This could be problematic for them. Serato goes down. They know Art's here. Hard clearing the corner and making sure that bomb can go down in a 2v3.
Furia are so paranoid about the B bomb site. Mid was abandoned despite the 5v4, and now the dream is collapsing. Once again, a barrel of the gun is spotted. Low on bullets, but that'll be enough. 1v1 now. Score versus Yuri. Where is Score, though? I don't think Yuri has any idea at all. Creeping forward. He has a kit, Yuri. Score's just falling further and further back. It's an advantageous bomb plant. He's found the molly. Will he force his way through now, Score?
Map pool in November 2022.
Creeping through, and there's the headshot. Down goes Yuri, and down go the hopes of Furia, just a little bit lower.
You saw the reaction from Yuri. He was stunned, losing that round. IHC 14-10 up. They've put themselves in the driver's seat again. What a split this was onto this bomb site. Blitz getting that frag, and then this play from Blitz. He just gets this kill before Yuri arrives. If that trade was just a split second, half a second sooner, it would have made all the difference. But it wasn't to be, and now Furia down with 2 MP9s. If they lose this round, it could be Katowice over for them.
They've made Furia so afraid of losing the B bomb site that have exploited them elsewhere, and still they find the entries on B when they decide to go there. Furia sticking with 3 and 2 in that mid area, I think. Down goes Blitz, fast moving round now. It turns into chaos once again. Bomb starting to go through. Drop is utterly surrounded and is collapsing once more. Bartek ready, waiting as the smoke dissipates. He'll see Art through, and now it's Serato.
He can't do anything. And this has been a huge problem. Serato is playing A every round. When these B plays come in, he can't do anything. And he's been so impactful. He's been their best player, but he hasn't been involved on this CT side. And we are on the verge of a massive upset.
How many rounds have Furia won in this half?
1.
1 round. 4 rounds either side for IHC. About to be 5. About to be match point again. Absolute tear. Absolute steamer from them so far. Unprecedented. Surely, the way Furia started this map, I think some people might have thought it was over. But they got enough rounds, IHC, and they feel comfortable on this T side. They are in control. They are pulling Furia from pillar to post.
This would be the biggest win of their careers, and drop on the other side for Furia. They put so much focus on this tournament. They had a month boot camp in Europe. They had high hopes to make a deep run. Aggression on mid, blinded and taken out instantly.
Serato able to hold things down for now, but where is the bomb going? They haven't seen it just yet. Retracting on the A bomb site as they continue to fly in relentlessly, remorselessly, but losing their lives, IHC. Trying to thrive in the chaos. Full commitment from Furia on A now as things slow down. IHC completely split. Now, if Blitz can make a play and find something, will it be a full rotation? Because surely you'd expect them to be together.
Ooh, so close on the flick from Annihilation. And now he's got to make sure he can regroup with his teammate. Furia decide to retreat. Happy to play back with the man advantage. Orp switched to the low health player. Will it be Annihilation making the play in the clutch again? The move into top mid might be well timed. Drop is not currently looking this way, but he looks back. And now he spotted them.
30 seconds. They've got time to try and hunt a frag here. And Drop it stuck in the corner. Down he goes. Surely they read a 2v1 wherever they choose to go. 20 seconds, so they've got to find that frag. Safe has a great angle, but we've seen some nasty peaks before, this time from Blitz. Annihilation's got to move forward, and now Safe will dance. Buy time for that rotation, or will he? Immediately fragged. 1v1 now as that bomb's about to get planted. Yuri running over. No time for the molly, or is there? Lionation's got to be careful. Behind the boxes, straight in the face, and they've done it! They've done it on Anubis! They've eliminated Furia. IHC make it to groups of Katowice.
Furia eliminated, but it's all about IHC right now. The biggest win of their careers. And they can't quite believe it themselves. They're going to groups.
That was one hell of a series.
With a stand-in. IHC with a stand.